It's a lovely Monday evening. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and good evening to you, our viewers. It's good to know that you are tuned in right about now on Ubuntu channel. We are so glad that you are a part of this particular special broadcast. Now, this is a special interview where we want to at least have a chat with affected truck drivers that have been going through a lot. And on this platform today, we get to bring them to you and get to hear what they are going through, the problems that they have, and obviously what they want either the Zambian government as well as the Congolese government get to do about their plight. When I talk about their plight, I'm talking about their safety and talking about how well they can be. I am your host, Lance Sani Banda, taking you through, and together with my co-host who will be joining me shortly, that is Chaza. This evening, I have Andrew Kai. Andrew Murishan. We have Kennedy, who is also a truck driver. But Kennedy Moisen.
I'm on a conference.
Okay, looks like Kennedy is still challenged with internet right there, but we'll be glad to have him back as we discuss this very pertinent issue. And of course, we get to see if we can have a solution to what our truck drivers have been going through or to what they go through. Now, to just get you, our viewer, looped on what we are discussing or on what we are talking about this evening, allow me to bring through Bakabaye, at least Batuchitreko explain the problems that they are going through, especially in terms of safety as truck drivers. Bakabaye, limbi kutumwa tulondolelako ni problem nsheyo mkwete.
Okay, good evening. As he introduced, my name is Andrew Kavai. So I will use English for the sake of, because I represent a lot of drivers and some of these drivers are not from Zambia. So for them to appreciate what I'm saying, I should use English. Yeah, as you may be aware, we've got a lot of problems in Congo. That is the reason why we've seen truck drivers from across the Pacific region fearing going into Congo. That is for their lives. Zambia being a landlocked country, many trucks from different countries, they have to pass through Zambia before going to Congo. So recently we have had a number of events which have led to the drivers like putting handbrakes and fearing going into Congo. One of them is the brutality by the police and the robberies by civilians and soldiers. So in Congo, I think the problems which drivers are going through are too numerous to mention. But the most important issue that has led to this standstill is the issue of security.
Sorry, Bakabai, I didn't get the last part. The issue that has brought you here is the issue of what?
Security in Congo, or insecurity, I should put it that way, insecurity.
All right, pretty interesting. Quickly, let me get to Kennedy, who is also a truck driver and currently in his truck. Kennedy, good evening and welcome to this special interview.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Good evening, the panelists. Thank you very much.
All right. Quickly, tell us where you are right now. Are you stationed at Kasumbalesa border, and how is the situation?
Thank you very much for that question. Here, this is the border for Zambia. I'm about to cross to go to Congo side, but due to the issues of which us drivers are crying for has made me not to cross over until we normally find the lasting solution. Yeah, so right now I'm at Kasumbalesa border here in Zambian side.
All right, pretty interesting. Now, we have seen a standoff that you Zambian drivers are putting across to say you will not enter the Democratic Republic of Congo until this issue is addressed either by the president of Zambia, President Hakainde Hichilema, or his counterpart, the president of the Democratic Republic of Congo, Felix Antoine Tshisekedi. How soon do you hope to get addressed or this issue to get sorted out?
Coming to that, first of all, I can say that I would love the head of state, that is from Zambian side, and the counterpart from Congo side to come in as quickly as possible so that we can find the lasting solution on this one. Of which we understand that no, it's not easy to bring the head of state in this kind of situation. But we are crying that these head of states, they can come to attend to us so that we can see us drivers, the way they can help us. And the reason why we are really want to meet the head of state is because of these issues of Congo issues, the thing which the harassment and all the killings in this country, which we normally face in this country. It has been tabled with other government officials, like from like Congo side, the governors, here in Zambia side, the ministers, which at one time led them to sign even a document, the assurance which was given some time back, assuring the drivers that there will be no more harassment, there will be no more killings. So now, as the drivers, we have thought of maybe these things for them to continue. Maybe these officials who signed, they didn't take to the high authority like the president. That's how we have thought of, no, it's better we engage the people like the president from both countries. Maybe that's when we can find the solution. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And to our viewers who are just joining us, this is a special interview where we are having an interaction with the drivers that stand off Kasumbalesa border right there, requesting that they will only proceed if the President Hakainde Hichilema or President Tshisekedi of the Democratic Republic of Congo intervenes. Kabagwe, let me come back to you. You are the regional coordinator for these truck drivers. After you have made all these efforts, at least to bring about security to the truck drivers in this region, and nothing seems to be happening, what is your immediate thought or an immediate action that you are taking to see to it that this issue gets a special attention or gets the immediate attention that it requires? Your mic is muted. Kindly unmute your mic.
Yeah, we've taken a lot of actions, such as engaging government officials who came on the 2nd, that is yesterday. We had the privilege to have the Minister of Transport, Mr. Tayali, Honorable Tayali. Then we also had the Chidilabombwe Minister and the DC and other officials. Then we also had the Interior Minister from Republic of Congo, whom in Zambian context we can say he's the Home Affairs Minister. Yeah, now in that meeting, we presented our problems, most of which is the security concerns, because in Congo what happens, you find that the police officers who are supposed to be protecting people, they are the ones that perpetuate robberies and injustices to drivers that come from foreign nationals and soldiers as well. So because of this reason, I think we've been this type of problems in Congo going on for a very long time. But what prompted the closure of the border, the deaths of our colleague, one of which was believed to have been killed by soldiers. But of course, there's information on social media that sometimes cannot tally with the actual point of view. According to social media, there was a speculation that the driver was killed at Kimbe by a police officer. But the official point of view was that this driver died of a natural cause, and there was also speculation that the body was smuggled. Okay, in short, normally when a driver dies in Congo,
Finish.
Yeah, normally what happens is that when a driver dies in Congo, the SADC Truck Drivers Association of Congo, the president, who is Mr. Mande, is normally notified, and other stakeholders before the body is cleared. But we discovered that a Zambian colleague died and was already transported into Zambia without all the leaders, including the leader for SADC Truck Drivers Association of Zambia, knowing. Also, the leader for SADC Truck Drivers Association of Congo, knowing. So there was some kind of commotion and misunderstanding and a lot of speculation. But at the end of the day, it was discovered, according to the evidence presented by the officials from Congo, that the body was duly cleared and signed by the governor, then transported into Zambia through Mokambo border. And, when we are dealing with officials and they have evidence to ascertain that what they are claiming is true, then you have a baseless argument. So that's how it ended. But all in all, problems in Congo have been going on for a very long time. Me, I'm the regional coordinator, but I'm also the driver. So most of the things that drivers are complaining about, they are things that I also experience. At the same time, I sort out problems concerning drivers in Congo. For example, like the other female, who is Madam Mariana Mukua, was at one time involved in a road accident. So there was a lot of injustices there. In Congo, what it is, when you are moving in Congo, even when somebody hits you from the behind, as long as you're a foreigner, they give you so much problems that they will lock you up and they make the company pay a lot of money. So I managed to rescue this driver when she was incarcerated for so many days. Now, having said that, many drivers, the problems that are facing are harassment and robberies. There are a lot of videos that are circulating on social media whereby you find kids, not kids, but these teenagers standing with pebbles or stones in front of the trucks, threatening to stone them. And once you stop, they enter your truck and get whatever they think is useful. Sometimes, in some instances, they even get driver's passports, which land them in problem afterwards, because authorities in Congo, when I say authorities, I mean immigration officers, sometimes they take advantage. When they steal your passport, they don't consider it that way. They'll still regard you as an illegal immigrant. Yeah, so amongst the problem that we presented to the authorities again is that immediately you enter Kasumbalesa border, just a few meters away from the no man's land, you find these small boys extorting money, because I cannot say it's begging, because a beggar begs politely, but there they will be like threatening you and even use palatable language if you don't comply, if you don't give them anything. Then when you just enter the barrier there, you find immigration officers who ask for your passport, barely parking. Even before you park your truck, they will come and ask for your passport. And if you don't give them, it's a problem. When you give them again, it's another problem. You have to give them money for them in order to give it back to you. Then the other issues that drivers were complaining about is the documents verification. You know, in all the countries that drivers load from in the SADC region, you find that when you load from the mine, the next stop is the border post. But in Congo, immediately you enter, then 7 kilometers, there is a document verification, and you have to pay parking whether you enter that parking or not. Then there are other hefty charges like what they call dangerous goods, which is $30. And the $30 in Zambian context, you find that it's a lot of money. Then again, within 70 kilometers from the other checkpoint there for documents, there is a place called Kanyaka. Kanyaka, again, you go through the same process, document verification, and you have to pay a fee of $25 for parking and the top up for these runners, an agent. Imagine a country where you have an agent, a clearing agent at the border, another clearing agent within the country. Then if you are going to Kolwezi again, there is Kolwezi parking where people are made to pay like $30, they call it council. Now, the problem is not about council, it's the delayment which is happening there. If you enter that parking, they work at their own pace. They don't put everything in one office. You have to pay in another office. You have to get a receipt from one office. You have to have payment in another office. After you pay, then you have to have a stamp on the same receipt in another office. Then also, if you are a foreigner, you have to take your passport to the immigration officer, who clearly indicates that all foreign nationals must come with 2,500 FLA before they are, to the immigration office. So there are a lot of expenses and inconveniences that are going on in Congo. But these things have been going on for a very long time and cannot cause drivers not to go into Congo. The major concern is security. Security is a very, very genuine concern. I'm a driver. I'm not getting it from a third party's mouth, but I also experience it. Yeah, so what drivers want at the moment? What drivers want at the moment, according to their cries, is that they want the heads of states to come here and address them. The reason why they're doing that is because we've had several meetings which sometimes we could have fruitful results in a few, maybe a few months, then later on, then the situation goes back to normal. When I say the situation goes back to normal, I mean the same situation where drivers are harassed by police, are harassed by civilians, and all the inconveniences on the road. People don't have respect whatsoever for drivers, regardless of the importance of the cargo that they take for them. Yeah. So now, the Zambian government and the Congolese government, for example, the Congolese government have pledged to say they'll put patrol van or patrol vehicles that will be going through checking, going through patrolling, checking on driver welfare there. And also they introduced what they are calling a green line, meaning that if you have, for example, you are being attacked, you can call the number that goes straight to the interior minister. But drivers on that are arguing to say, what if your phone was stolen from you? How can you make a phone call? Then others also, they are saying, when a patrol van goes to another direction, then you are on another direction, within a space of maybe 30 minutes, these vagabonds can pounce out on you and steal from you. So in short, drivers, according to what they demanded, and even said clearly to the minister, we want the heads of state to come and address the drivers so that maybe if they come here, they can appreciate all the problems that the drivers are going through, rather than having third-party, state information.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kabagwe. Mr. Kennedy, can you kindly mute your mic? I will tell you when to unmute it. Kindly mute your mic.
I unmute my line?
No. I'm talking about Mr. Kennedy.
Come
Mr.
again.
Kennedy, can you mute the line? Click on the mic. You see that sign MIC. Click on that line, Mr. Kennedy.
Okay, thank you for that, Mr. Kennedy. Now, Mr. Kawai, I want to come back to what you have raised, or the issues that you have raised. This thing has been ongoing for a very long time. Zambian truck drivers complaining about the issue of security once they cross over to the Democratic Republic of Congo. What do you think is the problem, despite the drivers, the association or the union talking it over with the two countries' authorities or people that are in power? What do you think really is the problem, and what is a better way do you think can be if this thing was to be put to an end?
I think the better way, the way I look at it, although I know Congo is a sovereign state, so we cannot decide what to do for them. But from the look of things, I think the government needs to motivate their workers, especially the police and the soldiers, by giving them good pays and training. I mean, it should start with education, training, and good salaries. Then also for the youths, I think they should find something, or maybe keep them busy with something that can make them busy. For example, school, and those that are not working, or employment or informal employment. We remember previously during the previous regimes, these chaps used to excavate what they call ndandanshi, or concentrate, pack them in bags, and they sell. So by so doing, it used to keep them busy and they used to make income. I know the government would like to maximize the profits, but if they can keep these youths in, like for example in Zambia, there is what we call Black Mountain, and many youths have been given an opportunity to go and scavenge it, and find whatever they can. So those youths, if they are not busy with the Black Mountain, maybe by this time they could have been indulging themselves into crimes and stuff. So I think the Congolese government really needs to look after its people, because what I can tell you, that people in Congo are really suffering. They are suffering, and police officers, you find them, they are moving around with guns, drunk, and I even wonder if most of them, they even understand the basic human rights and the rule of law, because the way they behave the exact opposite. A police officer is expected to behave in any civilized country.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Kawai. I will come back to you. Let me get back to Kennedy. Kennedy, I understand that right now you are per border, per Kasumbalesa. Kindly describe the situation, how it is right now. At least I believe you are in your truck. How is the situation there?
Thank you very much. The situation here is very calm, because we believe that the drivers, we are doing this protest a peaceful one, because every drivers, what we have agreed here at the Kasumbalesa is not to be violent, but to wait answers from the government officials from two parties. At the moment, the drivers are just waiting. They are just waiting and hoping that the two head of state, they can come in quickly, as I stated, in the area, so that we can see what can happen. But otherwise, at the moment, Kasumbalesa, it's only the trucks which are just parked, and demanding, the drivers, which us drivers, we are demanding that no other person or no other government official should come and address us. But concerning the other activities, like people coming from Congo side, going to Zambia, the pedestrian, those who are pushing, taking the goods, traveling from other countries, everything is normal. What is just happening here is just the trucks, they are the ones which are not moving. Thank you.
All right. So now suffice that the presidents of both countries do not come in quickly and mufunika kungena kuboda kupeleka magude kupeleka or to go about with business. What happens? Are you still going to be pitched there at the border until both presidents come to your aid?
Uh, yeah, that's a good question, and at the same time, it's a challenge. It's a very big challenge, whereby because normally this is not a protest from Zambian drivers only. This protest is about all the SADC drivers, that is the southern region countries which are here in the southern region. The countries, which means drivers are from different countries. There are some drivers from Zimbabwe, Malawi, Mozambique, South Africa. So it's quite challenging. But why we demand the president of Zambia to come in and the president of Congo to come in, because Zambia, as Mr. Kawai stated, it's a landlocked country. This is a country more like it's a passage leading to Congo. So being the host of the protest is why we are calling on the president of Zambia and the president of and Congo to come in. But we are hoping that the president should come in. And the other thing maybe I can say is maybe we need someone who is above the delegates like the ones which we had yesterday, because why we don't believe in them so much is because they have failed us. We had them in the meetings. They signed some documents concerning the same issue, but nothing happened. So this is the reason why every driver from all these different countries, we are saying, okay, better maybe we involve the senior people like the president. So we are hoping that maybe the president, they can come in. It's a challenge anyway on our side. It's a very big challenge. This is the reason why drivers are saying, when we go to Congo, we load. We stay a lot of days for us to be given documents. I can say, let's say if you load copper there, it takes time. Sometimes it takes 1 month just waiting for the POD. So drivers are saying, if we can wait there more days, we shall wait. If it's 1 month just for the president to come in, we are going to wait. So, but it's quite challenging anyway. But we are just hoping that they can come in so fast so that we can be helped. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kennedy. At this point, let me invite the viewers. Our dear viewer, you can come through into the studio in case you have a burning question, a concern, or you want to put through your idea or your concern as we are discussing this issue. We have shared with you the studio link. Come through, be part of the program. And we have Himba in the studio. Himba, good evening and welcome.
Good evening, Lance. Good evening, viewers. Good evening, Mr. Sakala.
Good evening. Good evening.
All right, Himba, you can go ahead with your question, contribution, or comment.
Thank you so much, Lance. My question is, Kenneth, for how long have you been on strike? And has anyone or among our leaders gotten in touch with you people?
The strike initially started on Friday. Friday, we announced that Friday it was the day when we started this strike. And due to the pressure which us drivers we gave on the government side, we had the district commissioner for Chirabombo here, because this is the area for the district commissioner. So we had the madam who is the DC for Zambia. He came here. So we had the meeting. She had the meeting with the drivers, of which the drivers they didn't accept the convincing ways which she was telling the driver, because they said we don't want this time to talk to any official apart from the president. Apart from that, yesterday we had the delegates, that's the government officials. We had the Copper Belt Minister, Copper Belt Provincial Minister, that's the Zambian side, and we had the Commerce and Trade Minister, and we had the Member of Parliament, who is the Minister of Mines. They also came here, including Madam DC Commissioner. From the also Congo side, we had the delegates like the Deputy Governor and the other government officials from Congo side, and it happened that I was among the people we are in that meeting. So far, we have they have spoken to us, but us drivers, we have not been given the assurance which we want, and for that, we have said no. We are not going to listen to them. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Sakala. So really, what kind of assurance do you want from the government leaders?
Yeah, that's a good question. Looking of because this one, what we are all looking at, we are looking life and death. So what I mean is these officials, they have been promising us in the past, not only verbally, but in a written agreement, of which all the agreements which we have been in agreement with, now agreement which has come to fruition. Nothing has happened. So now, the challenge now, why we are still holding on the protest is because us drivers, we are thinking that maybe this delegate the message to the head of state. So the only assurance which we want is the drivers want to speak direct to the president. They hear the answers from the president. Once that happens, every driver is going to start on eating and they are going to cross. Because we believe that these messages, because it has been happening so in many years' time, and nothing has happened. Every time there's this issue, there's this issue. So now, as drivers, we have decided we are only going to talk to the head of state from Congo side and Zambian side. Whatever we know, maybe the message will get to them, because maybe these are officials. That is our thinking. That maybe they don't take the message to the head of state. So the only option is to park our trucks here, Zambian side, where it's safe and where it's peaceful, so that we wait from them. They give us the assurance. Themselves, the head of state. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Sakala. Now, what about if the president is going to send a representative? Are you able to dialogue with? If the president is going to send a representative, are you ready to sit down on the round table with them?
I'm sure the only representative in this case we want is, let's say, like from our counterpart side, is let's say we say from Congo side. I'm sure the only thing we can hear from is maybe the defense minister, because why I'm saying the defense minister from Congo side is because it's what we are crying for is about our security. We are crying for security in that country, and from our side here, we don't want someone who is. We want someone who is more senior. It cannot be necessarily maybe the head of state, but someone who is more senior. Like in Zambia here, even the vice president can come and meet us. We can listen from that, because the only challenge, us drivers, we may look to be more like we want just to be so, to be so difficult. The reason why is these people we are meeting now, they have really failed us. They have really failed us. That's what I can say. So the drivers, they have got no, we don't believe in them, because this is what has been going on. This is what has been happening, and nothing has come out. So let's say in Congo, maybe they send someone who is more senior, like in the defense wing, like the generals, like the Minister of Defense, maybe, because that one, maybe if he comes, we can know that things are going to change. But as long as each time they send the same people, we thank you.
Are you saying these people that you've met before, our leaders, they've met you, the ones which met you recently, they've met you before over the same issue? Is that what you're trying to say?
Concerning like from the delegates from Zambia, these leaders we met yesterday, they have not met us before. We are just from changing a government. Because the previous government was there are some leaders whom we met, but this one, the government which has been put in place, the new regime, this is the first time we are meeting with them. But as we try to remind them to say, even if you are meeting us for the first time, the position which as honorable ministers they are holding, we had some people held those positions, and when the time they were holding those positions, there was a document which was signed by them. We believe that if a document has been signed, the document has to work, looking of the two parties, whatever they sign. So we see, although the delegates they were telling us to say this is a new government in Congo, so there is a new government. So give us more time. We are going to give you the assurance. And the assurance, like from our counterpart Congo side, like what Mr. Kabagwe stated, he mentioned like they gave us to say we are going to provide two security vehicles. We are going to give the green light, of which those things, those things they have been there and nothing worked. Those things they have been there, nothing has worked. We had 4 patrol vehicles in the past. It never worked. They had all those contact numbers in the past, including the government themselves. Nothing worked. At times, it rang only, maybe it used to wake up, but for a month. But after some time, it never used to go through the line. When you call that line, it never used to go through. This time, there's a mine area in Congo there, where they provide security to the drivers when they are going to offload there, maybe to load copper from. There's a certain area in Congo there. You can't move alone as a truck driver with your truck. You have to go in a convoy, being escorted by the security wing there. But even if that is happening, also drivers are being attacked. You see that? So it's something which is very, very funny at the same time. So we believe that these people, the only option as drivers, we can maybe find the answers, is to talk to the head of state. Maybe this information didn't reach them. Yeah, I'm sure that's what I can say on that one. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Sakala. And I would love us, because now we are like, our request or your request is to talk to the government officials and reach to our president, is it? I would love that maybe for now, we talk so much about our side where we can maybe have an influence for you to communicate to our leaders who are our parents and listen to your cries. But on the other side, from the Congo side, we may not have much influence. Maybe what we can appeal from them is for them to interact, is it, at that level. Now, having said that, we would also want to know the situation of female drivers. How are they surviving? What is their condition? And how are they protected, being that they are females? How is the situation for them there? I wish they were here, and I hope we'll have time to talk to them. But since they're not here, I'm sure you have an idea. Or you may not have more information, but you have an idea of what they are going through. Will you please shed a bit of light on that?
Thank you very much for that question. In Congo, let me start with Congo. In Congo, I can say there is no law and order. There's no law, in short, to say in Congo there. They are our brothers, they are our neighbors, but what I can say is in Congo, there is no law. In Congo, either you are a female driver, either you are a male driver, those things, they happen to anyone. The attack can happen to anyone. The situation there is not good, because it happened to me myself when there was no even an offense. But it happened at one time that I was locked up with no offense. And some people, they came and they paid some money. I went out. So in Congo, there, as Mr. Kabagwe said, there was a lady. She was involved in a road accident. It was very bad. Some people, they stole money from her. We thank God that they didn't even rape her in that case. But what I can say is to the female ladies also, it's a big challenge. It's a big challenge because if we talk about the security there in that country, there's no proper security. In short, there's no security to a foreigner driver. There is no security to a foreigner driver. So there, Congo is something else because even if you try to run maybe to the police officer, there it's opposite. If you see a police officer, it's you to run away from the police officer. If you see a soldier there, you have to run away from them. So it's totally opposite there. Whereby other countries, when you see an officer of the law, you have to rush to them. But there is totally different. So to our female driver, it's a very big challenge. It's a very big challenge. What I can say is they only survive by the grace of God. Everyone who goes there survives by the grace of God. So I'm sure on that one, that's what I can answer. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Kennedy. We really appreciate. Mr. Kawai, welcome back, and you've come at the right time. I want to shift attention to you. You've been the regional coordinator and looking at what is currently pertaining on the ground, especially looking at this standoff. Suffice, I asked this person to Kennedy. Let me also bring it to you. Suffice that the president of Zambia, together with the president of Congo, delay in hearing to your SOS call that only they can address you to sort out this issue. What is next for the truck drivers?
That is a tricky situation because the drivers are demanding that the heads of states should address them. An issue which, like me personally, I can't bank on very much. But being a regional coordinator, I think the safety of the driver is the most important thing, regardless of who sorts that problem out. For example, we had a delegation from the Minister of Home Affairs. But many drivers think that if we can also have a defense minister who can come on board and shake his ministry around so that they should do the opposite of what they're doing now, that is protecting everyone who is in Congo, be it a foreign or a citizen. Yeah. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, so that is what I'm looking at is security and safety of the drivers. That's the most important thing. If our president, my appeal so far to the president is that if he can talk, if it is possible, they can make it possible, they travel to the border. That could be the greatest thing, because at that juncture, drivers will think that these two heads of state now are really taking care of them. We know they are very, very busy, and the president of Congo is, if not mistaken, is the current chairman for SADC. So if being a member of SADC and being holding that top position, I think it is incumbent upon the Congolese government to do what is right. That is making sure that even if it doesn't necessarily come, but put on honest mechanisms that can take care of the drivers. But so far, we are engaging authorities, and authorities in Zambia are not resting. They are keep on calling the Congolese counterparts so that they can make sure that what they promised in the meeting is come to fruition, so that drivers can feel protected. So far, I cannot promise that drivers can buy the notion that the patrol van can help them. Yeah, the concern is that these patrol vans, if they are on the other end, then you are on the other end. Then it means you are vulnerable where you are. So the real situation here needs a complete overhaul. It must be treated like a state of emergency, whereby all the resources must come here. And luckily for Congo, there is only one route that leads, that all the trucks passes through. And that is, this major route is the one where our drivers are mostly vulnerable. That is from Kasumbalesa up to Kolwezi. It's one route. Of course, we've had instances, especially Kamoa. You know, Kamoa, we have had a Zimbabwean national who was shot at and killed. So all those areas really need serious security. And from the look of things and from all the meetings that we've had, that's why I can't even blame the drivers when they don't want to settle for nothing less than heads of states, because all the resolutions, all the solutions that have been, at some point we even had to sign documents with officials there. But despite all that, at the end of the day, it comes back to normal. And when I say normal, it is in open and inverted commas. Normal is this usual situation where a driver, when he goes into Congo, he knows his body tells him that now you are in a war zone. So that is the situation. So my appeal is, I know President Hakainde Hichilema has been trying a lot to interact and bring President Tshisekedi on board. But we feel, drivers feel that the president of Congo is not doing enough to protect the drivers. So as a regional coordinator, my primary concern is the safety of our drivers. If for example, if the drivers, they can hear news that now they've cleaned up all the roads, all those boys that have been stoning trucks. You know what confuses us a lot in Congo? In other countries, when somebody commits a crime, when there is a picture evidence of him, without any waste of time, that person will be arrested. But in Congo, we find that a picture can go viral and you'll be seeing the same boys on the street standing with stones and nothing is happening. So we really need a rule of law in Congo. The police needs to do their job, that is to protect everyone regardless of their nationalities. So at this juncture, even if I know it is a far-fetched wish, but if the president could come down here, that could be great. But my primary concern is security. Not this security which after 2 weeks, then everything again goes back to normal. Thank you.
Lance, you are muted. Please unmute your mic.
All right. Thank you so much. Let me still speak on the issue of this same security. So when you talk about security, really, what kind of security are you talking about? Do you want to have police all around or throughout the road from Kasumbalesa to Kolwezi, not only doing patrols, but even having physical presence there, so that maybe there is that fear from people that rob or shoot at these drivers?
The most tricky part in Congo, the same police are the same culprits that attack drivers. So the way I see it personally, I think if Congo can do what other countries do, like in Zambia, someone can pass out, they send him to Chirilabombo. He won't be working there until he retires, he has grandchildren. They do transfer them. So if they can remove all the police officers from Katanga and these other provinces, transfer them somewhere, then bring the new blood, the new police officers that can have, that can understand the rule of law and human rights, it can be better. Because the same police officers, they are the same police officers that are sending a very bad example to their citizens, because they sometimes attack drivers in broad daylight when other people are watching them. So that is the trickiest part. So even if we say, bring the police, of course, I don't know, they'll be begging from drivers and extorting money again, as is always the case. So I think, of course, we need the police, but the police that we need is the police that has a different mindset or different training, if there is any in Congo, that is aimed at protecting everyone in the country. So if they can bring genuine police on the road, patrolling, and to start with, they must clean up all the roads and remove, there are hotspots. For example, along Lumumba, around is that Lumumba? Yes, there is a road called the New Kalurush Road. Oftentimes you find boys there standing. So the police, they can even make a police station there. They make a police station, or what Zambians do, or even a police post around that area. Those hotspots, they just put police posts, and they put the type of police that understands human rights, that have got human hearts at that have got that have humanity at heart. So of course we need to see the presence of police, but first of all they must arrest all the people on the road that are there to cause havoc. Then another thing, I think, on a community level, because I know these people, they come from communities. They come from communities. I think the government of Congo needs to engage their, whatever they are, whether they are headmen or whatever, they must engage them so that they should start sensitizing their people. They should stop attacking foreigners. I think those are one of the suggestions. And as I said earlier on again, police in Congo also needs to be motivated in terms of good salaries, good conditions of service. And as, I mean, they have to be like other police officers from other countries where we travel in. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Andrew. Now, Mr. Andrew, I have a follow-up question. My question is, these situations or these incidents that are happening, are they only happening to foreigners and they are not happening to their drivers? One. Then the second one to Mr. Sakala, what is going to satisfy you with your people? And as we are tackling these questions, these two questions, may you please try to center a little bit to our Zambian leaders. What do you want to see from them that is going to satisfy you? And is this situation only happening to non-Congolese, or it's happening to everyone?
But I should say, it depends on the situation, or I mean, it depends on the situation. But Congolese also face same problems, because, you know, these thieves, they don't choose nationalities. But of course, there are certain vehicles that they may fear to say, if we tamper with this vehicle, then the owner might end up organizing police, because, you know, in Congo, what works is money. Can end up organizing police and they can make a follow-up. So some companies are not vulnerable. But in Congo, I've interviewed even the Congolese themselves. They say, no, what it is here, the same behavior these police officers have towards you, it is the same behavior on us. Sometimes they knock on our doors, they attack us, they ask for money, and if you don't comply, they can do a lot of bad things. So if you know that you've got money, you have to give them quickly so that they leave without hurting anyone in the family. Imagine that kind of scenario. That is the Congolese themselves saying that. And there were some other trucks that were stoned. Zulisana or Barigan, I don't know which company. So in short, in Congo, anyone who is in danger, including the Congolese drivers.
Sakala, what situation is going to, what solution is going to satisfy you as drivers, especially from our Zambian side, from our Zambian leaders? What do you want to see? What do you expect from them? Yes, one, you said you really want to meet the president. If the president can't come, can we have the defense minister? Apart from that, what else is going to satisfy you? And what things do you, or what measures do you want to be put in place for you to be satisfied? You are muted.
Okay. Yeah. Coming to that question, what is going to make us be satisfied is, you see, we are not in the colonial time. We are in the a new century where human rights are working. And you see truck drivers. This is the kind of occupation which normally have. So what can normally satisfy is that we want the government of Zambia to say that they should come to protect the life of a driver, to give us assurance that no, a life of a driver must be protected no matter where the driver is going to. Let's say in this case, like the driver is going to Congo, the driver must be protected. So that cannot be done with just me talking maybe to someone else. That can be done by us believing that if we contact to the head of state, or maybe in this case we say the defense minister, we believe that the driver will be in safe hands to say. I think that's the most important thing we are looking at, because no one would want to go and to be killed. No one would want to wish maybe anyone to go and be killed in a foreign country, because in this case like Congo, if maybe let's say a driver is killed in Congo, it's very difficult. Even for that body to be taken back to another country, it's a challenge. So in this show, what we normally can ask from our government, like Zambia, to be specific, is that we want the assurance of us to be to have a proper safety in that country called Congo. That's what we can cry for, and that's what we can. That's what can make us happy to say. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much, colleagues. We really appreciate your time being with us. Mr. Kabagwe, within 60 seconds or under a minute, your clarion call to the leaders of Zambia, what you would really like to see before this standoff takes off.
Yeah, I'm hearing a feedback, so I didn't get the question quite well.
All right, I would like you to give a clarion call, like your call to the government of Zambia, what you would like to see as you, your drivers are on this standoff.
My cry to my government is that to keep on pressing their Congolese counterparts to honor what they promised on the meeting, although it was not signed, because that is another skepticism that the drivers have to say. They should have signed something that shows they will commit themselves to. But despite all that, we can have a signed document, but no implementation is the same thing. So at this point in time, the government of Zambia should remind their counterparts to say, please keep safe our drivers the same way we keep your citizens. You know, the most painful part is that you find that the Congolese citizens are always on Zambian side. Most of the stores there by Kasumbalesa, they are being run by them and no one harasses them. But when it comes to a Zambian national, it is quite the opposite on the other side. So the government should keep on reminding to say, please, we need each other. The same way your people need the spaces on our side is the same way our people should be treated in your country. So our government, and I'm really thankful, by the way, our government has shown a lot of civility. I'm sure even the people, wherever countries they are coming from, they will be really appreciating, because if our government was really dictatorial, they should have been forcing the drivers to go into Congo. But that could be a very big mistake, because once they force people to go into Congo, then something happens there. Then everybody will be saying, no, you see, they pushed us to this. So I would really love to thank the government of President Hakainde Hichilema for really showing the true democracy, what democracy and human rights means. I know protest is one of the things that are enshrined by the Human Rights Charter. So this is very encouraging, and I'm really thankful to this government. Although I want them to go a step further by pressing the Congolese government to clear all those boys. Anyone who commits a crime in Congo, if he's captured on camera, must be tried and must be arrested and tried.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Kavae. And quickly, let me have you, Kennedy, just your clarion call to the government of the Republic of Zambia as you continue with this standoff. All right, Mr. Sakala has gone, and of course, it's about that time, our viewers, that we have to come to the end of this special program that we had for you. Obviously, we were talking to the truck drivers at Kasumbalesa border that have vowed to continue with the standoff until they are addressed by President Hakainde Hichilema and his Congolese counterpart, that is President Felix Antoine Tshisekedi, over their safety concerns. Now, the drivers have been complaining of being harassed once they cross over to the Democratic Republic of Congo. We had Andrew Kabaye, who is the regional coordinator, as well as Kennedy Sakala, who is a truck driver that is currently stationed right there at the Kasumbalesa border. Thank you so much for being with us. We really appreciate your time, and we just hope that both the Zambian government and the DRC government are going to look into the plight of the truck drivers, look at their safety, and work out a quick modality to see to it that each and every life is preserved as they cross over to the Democratic Republic of Congo. Thank you so much to you, our viewers. Thank you so much to our guest, as well as Himba, for coming through, and not forgetting a special thanks go through to our IT team. And on behalf of the production crew, we say have a blessed evening, good night, and continue obviously subscribing and liking Ubuntu channel, both on Facebook as well as on YouTube. Thank you so much. Good night.
Thank you.